What's going on, everyone? Daniel Rodriguez here, aka Big D. It's time to review another movie. This time it is a indie movie that recently came out at the beginning of November, and it's a movie I've been anticipating for a long time, ever since the trailer came out. I just have been anticipating it because of the cast itself. I mean, we got Michael Keaton, Rachel McAdams, John Slattery, Stanley Tucci, Mark Ruffalo, Liev Schreiber, if I said that name wrong, but I do love you, man. Sabretooth and Ray Donovan, Liev Schreiber, if I got that name wrong, bless your soul. Seriously, I mean, it's just a fantastic cast in here, man. A few other names, a few other actors and actresses in here, man. Very awesome cast. That's definitely the reason why I went to the theater to see this movie. And again, the story, I'm not going to give much of the story away, but it did have to deal with, over the time, of course, 60s, 70s, 80s, and, onward from that time. And it's been going on for a long time, and this is, based on a true story about the real Spotlight people. It's about, the priests that actually molested, the altar boys and the girls, and it just went on in the Boston area and around the whole world. I mean, everywhere in the world. And not every priest did it, don't get me wrong. Not every priest you see, you molested people. No, it's not like that. But there are people in, hundreds, thousands, in the whole country, that in different parts did it in cities. So it's a very scary thing. And it's still going on, I'm assuming, today, but not as bad as it was in the 70s, 80s, 90s, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure it died down a little bit more, but I don't know. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So, this is going to be my non-spoiler review. I'm not going to spoil nothing about this movie. I'm just going to give you my pros and cons and final score. Tell you whether or not you should go check out this movie. Most likely, it's not at your theater anymore because it only showed up for a little bit, because it's already been out for almost a month. But for sure, if you should watch it on, Redbox or Netflix or anything when it comes out within the following months on DVD, I'll tell you whether or not it is worth it, man. So let's get right to it, guys. Here is my non-spoiler review for Spotlight. Alright, real quick, guys, this movie is directed by Tom McCarthy, and its estimated budget is $20 million. So, right away, man, seriously, the pros. I'm going to get started with the pros and give you the good word first. It's the cast. Like I said, all the cast is amazing. They're either Academy Award winners or Academy nominated. I don't actually know if there's any winners on the list there, but I know they're nominated. Some are nominated Academy Award, Academy nominated, all that. So that's awesome. I mean, Michael Keaton here was awesome. But he wasn't as impactful as he was in Birdman. If you give me Birdman or Spotlight, I'd still say Birdman was his. He did amazing in here, but Birdman, he shined. He was great in here, but he didn't shine. He wasn't the main star. Mark Ruffalo was, and I could definitely see Mark Ruffalo getting some nominations. Anyone at this cast could get a nomination, man. But Mark Ruffalo was brilliant in here. His character, his Boston voice, he was just different, because I always see Mark Ruffalo. I know he does a lot of indie movies. He's always been like that, but I always see him as Bruce Banner now. And I look at him, and he's doing this weird. He's not like that nice character. He's nice, but he's not like that. It's the 2001 era and everything at that time, and you're thinking this ain't Bruce Banner, man. Mark Ruffalo being a different person, So definitely it works very well, and he plays such an awesome character, and you believe it, and it's fantastic, man. The writing and dialogue of here, man, it's brilliant. Is it the best movie of the year? Would I say, of writing and dialogue? It'd definitely be on the top 10 or definitely top 10 for sure, for writing and dialogue, because it's a movie where you have to pay attention to the facts. It's a fact movie, and you have to just keep on going, paying attention. Honestly, I'm gonna have to see this movie again soon, one day. Because I am interested in seeing this movie again, because it is an interesting detail, and again, it's based on a true story. So I do want to, I think I missed a few parts, and I saw it at night. It was 12 when I got out of the theater, and I wasn't tired. I took a nap and everything, that I went. So I was ready to see this movie, I was already ready. I wasn't tired, So it was a little date night. I brought my mom out and everything, because, I usually don't go to movies with my mom anymore. been of age to go see R-rated movies and everything. But I was like, Mom, we like Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton. Let's go. It's going to be in our theaters probably for till this Friday. So we went, and I gotta be honest, man. It's definitely a movie where it's not a movie where it's fun to watch, where it's like, here we go, studying about priests molesting, maybe, all that. So it's definitely a movie where if you're into this type of true story or dramatic or performance that thespians watching type of thing, it's definitely that awesome to see. But if you're a teenager, like say 15, 14-year-old, or you just don't go to your friends like, oh guys, I just saw this movie Spotlight, oh go see this movie. No, oh we're gonna go see Hunger Games with me and my girlfriend. Oh well, I want to go see Spotlight. I'll just be in the theater over there. The only person there at the theater, sadly. I really wish more people went to go see this movie. Ruffalo, Stanley Tucci shined in this movie as well, dude. He was a very complex character, a very hard character, a very rock-solid character. I think Stanley Tucci was just brilliant in this movie, man. He's a brilliant actor, but I haven't seen him be as big as this type of character ever since The Lovely Bones. So I seriously love Stanley Tucci's character in here and the way that he portrayed that character. Keaton again, the story in here is very, it's a real story. It's not nothing to laugh about. It's definitely something serious and also going on today. Not as bad again, like I said, but the story in here is, you can't have nothing better than a true story, and it being told upon you, and you have emotions in here. There is, it could be you, it could be me, it could have been anyone in this room, anyone in the world, it could have been anybody. It is a serious matter, and it's definitely, it's played so very well and so respectful to that matter. So the cast, the directing, I think Tom McCarthy, he did an awesome job directing. He got everything, every actor and actress that he got all the juices he can out of them. He got all the performances, the best performance he could get. I think that the directing was awesome. Is it the best directed movie of the year? Were there special camera angle shots or something? No, I'm not going to say like that's the number one directed movie of the year. No, it's not. But it definitely is a very good directed movie. It's not a bad directed movie. I think Tom McCarthy did an awesome job. I'm not familiar with Tom McCarthy's filmography, so either way, I will check that out later. I gotta study that now. I won't Tom McCarthy. But seriously, awesome job, sir. Awesome job. And again, like the acting I said, I see a few nominations this way. If you love any of these actors, man, Rachel McAdams, the two people I would say that I felt they could have gained more, but they did good, but they could have done better, was Rachel McAdams, and I love her. She's a beauty. I think she was the only person that had the beautiful face in here, you know what I mean? Like, she's the only young girl that stood out, that really didn't belong in here, but whatever. Rachel McAdams, and then John Slattery. John Slattery basically felt like his madman character. He was just doing the jokes. He was barely in there, but it felt like he was just like another madman character to him. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't nothing different. He felt like he was a madman guy. And I love Mad Men. Don't get me wrong. I love his character. I love John Slattery. He's not a bad actor. I'm not saying he did a horrible job. I'm not picking points off for John Slattery being... He wasn't bad. I just felt like he was just a rehash of the Mad Men character that he played in the series. And then going on to here is kind of like in The Office again and everything, and doing the jokes and the quick jokes and not really caring, sometimes caring, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like that, man. So those were the pros, and then the cons, John Slattery, but I'm not taking much points off of that. And then it took me 25 or 30 minutes to really get into the story and get into the film, because let me tell you, the first 25 minutes, I was just sitting there, and it takes me a while to get into this movie. I was just sitting there, I was seeing the characters being introduced, and really, another thing was Rachel McAdams' character. I don't know if that was her husband or if that was her brother or someone, because they never really emphasize on their families. They never emphasize on Michael Keaton's. Like, Rachel McAdams has this guy, and like, I can't tell if it's her husband, I can't tell if it's her boyfriend, if it's her brother. You can't honestly tell. There's no emphasis on who that person is, and you see him only 2 or 3 times, but who are you? Like, explain yourself. Explain who this person is. Who's that person? Who's this? And then they never really explain it, really. So that's just kind of just little things like that, honestly. But it doesn't ruin the movie experience. It doesn't ruin the movie. Is it a good movie? I think it's a really good movie, man. So honestly, I'm going to give the score, a Spotlight, an 8.8 out of a 10. It's a really good movie, man. I think I walked out of this theater and I'm expecting it to be great, but when I walked out of the theater and I said to myself, it was a really great film. It doesn't feel right coming out of my mouth. It was a really good film. That feels more better because it was a really good film. I'm not saying is it worth watching? Yes, it's worth watching. If you're into this true story, or if you love any of the cast members, Ruffalo, Keaton. I mean, just because I said he didn't do as amazing as Birdman, he's still awesome in here. Check it out. It is. I learned a few things in here, man. The statistics are crazy. I'm not going to tell you the statistics in here, but it's crazy. It's learning and watching at the same time, just actors going at it, was the most brilliant thing I could see. And it's definitely probably the best indie movie I've seen in a while. I mean, I love watching indie movies. It was at Sundance, I believe. So I'm glad it's winning awards. I hope it gets nominated for an Oscar. Maybe not for best. It could be for best film, but definitely at least nominated. At least I don't think it'll win, but at least nominated. Give it some hype there. So definitely for sure, guys, check it out if it's near your theater. Go right away if you can and check it out. Again, if you're one of those where you don't care for drama and everything, then it's gonna bore you. But if you're really into drama, or if you're into seeing, if you're really a movie goer and you care, then you're gonna love this movie. You're gonna end up either loving it or liking it. But I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think you'll be entertained with the story and the acting. That's what keeps the movie going, man. So thanks again. Comment down below if you enjoyed this review, or if you enjoyed the movie. Tell me what you thought about Spotlight Man, or whether you're going to go see it or not. Thanks again. I'll see you all for the next movie reviews coming, man. I mean, we got like 8 or 9 movies this month, man. I'll see you for Krampus, the horror comedy slasher opposite of Santa Claus movie coming out this weekend. I'll see you then. Thanks again. Spock be with you always. Have a safe road to Christmas, guys. Peace and love. Bye-bye.